Welcome to class, everyone. My name is Sister Watts, and I will be the instructor for the course this semester. I have created and combined a few pictures that will provide you a brief overview of my life thus far. I will also introduce some unique secular and spiritual experiences and my philosophies of teaching. I was born in Los Angeles to wonderful parents. We moved north to Northern California when I was 3. My mother had another child when I was 13, Rex. I did the whole Mormon experience. I graduated from seminary. I went through each of the milestones. I had the opportunity to go to BYU Hawaii. For a year, I went and served my mission to Corpus Christi, Texas, Spanish speaking. Following that, I graduated with a degree in elementary education from Southern Utah University, at which point I transitioned to Salt Lake City and I taught for 5 years. I taught 6th grade, I taught 1st grade, I taught ESL. At the conclusion of 5 years, I decided to try something different, so I signed up to be a nanny for a billionaire. That's his yacht that was docked in Venice. We flew there on his private airplane with his family and we toured the Mediterranean for 3 weeks. Following that experience, I felt inspired that I was to return to Salt Lake City. So I accepted a position as an educational assistant to Governor Leavitt, working for Rich Kendall. Politics was also probably not a great fit for me, although it was a wonderful experience. So at that point, my sister had her first child, Emily, and I made the decision to go to grad school in Washington, D.C. I concluded my master's in bilingual special education. This is Emily growing up. And then I started a doctoral degree at GW as well. I was very interested in systemic reform and how we can understand systems and help them to be more successful. I worked for 5 years training Masters of Secondary Education students in a partnership between GW and Fairfax County Public Schools. Once I defended my coursework, I transitioned back into a local school and taught for 3 more years, 6th graders. That's my classroom and my kids. You'll see from here that experiential learning is a big deal for me. Everything we did as a class was to learn the information and then ultimately to apply it. So you'll see lots of application in my pictures, because that was important for me, for children to assimilate the information. I taught for a year following GW at BYU Hawaii as an education professor. Following my time with BYU Hawaii, I consulted for a year with the Miccosukee tribe in Miami, and then my sister had Bailey, who was recently baptized. And following the Miccosukee experience, I went back into academia as a full-time education professor at Arkansas Tech, where I've taught for the last 4 years. Arkansans are wonderful. I've learned a tremendous amount from them. My little brother, Rex, had his first son, Liam. And of course, they continue to grow. During my time in Arkansas, we had the Chances Award to go and help the flood victims in Baton Rouge, which was a phenomenal experience. I had never done anything quite like that. Following that, and as part of an academic, I've had tremendous opportunities to travel. That, of course, is Adamandiaman. I've been to Nauvoo, I've been to Montreal. This is Vancouver, Charleston. It's one of the perks of academia, but the best part is being able to attend the local temple in those areas. The church is true wherever you're at, and it's always a blessing to be in the temple. My most unique, probably spiritual experience is a year ago. My goodness, it's been so quick. One of our sister missionaries, I'm a ward missionary. I was called, when I got here 4 years ago. One of our sister missionaries tore her ACL, and so I was called to serve as a full-time missionary once again for 2 weeks. This was our little district. These guys were in a zebra. One was Spanish and one was English, and then I, of course, was a fill-in for Irmana Brown. But yeah, I lived in the apartment with them and I did the same activities that they did. We got up at, 6 and read scriptures and did all that stuff. It was a phenomenal experience to be in the field once again full time. I shared this picture because each of these missionaries from our mission, for the most part, are attending BYU Idaho. So I know how special it is, largely because it accepts amazing young men and young women like the ones that I have served with. Again, my priorities are my family, the gospel. I believe that the Lord sees us in a way that we don't always see ourselves, and that ultimately we can always become more. And that's why I believe in the power of education, and that's a little bit about me.